Hare Krishna. Today we have Madhu Pandit Prabhu, who is the president of the ISKCON Bangalore, iconic ISKCON Bangalore temple, as well as the very well-known social organization and its chairman of the Akshay Patra Foundation, Madhu Pandit Prabhu here. We welcome you to this show. And firstly, I would like to congratulate you on receiving the Padma Shri award, which I feel is definitely an honor to you. But more than an honor to you, I think it's an honor to our Acharya Srila Prabhupada. And thank you for bringing this honor to Srila Prabhupada. I think I should also take this opportunity that this honor belongs to not only to you, but also to all your team members who have strived to make this happen. So today I wanted to discuss on a topic on which you are on a warpath for last 18 years. So I think you know what's the topic about. It's about the whole Guru issue, and we would like our viewers to know why this path or this warpath that you are on, for the benefit of them. We would like to have a small discussion on this. We welcome you here, and I have some questions for you to ask. So thank you very much for coming here. So coming to the topic of the day, I would like to know, and for our viewers to understand, what is this whole Guru issue about? In brief, please tell us what the Guru issue is all about.
As the name itself indicates, the issue is about who is the successor Guru after Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON movement. Guru is very essential for every devotee, which is the fundamental principle that is being taught by Srila Prabhupada, that one should accept the shelter of a bona fide Diksha Guru. So, in ISKCON, after Srila Prabhupada left this planet in 1977, we have been following a particular system of initiation, wherein 11 disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they claimed in 1977 that they were actually appointed by Srila Prabhupada as his successors to continue the chain of disciplic succession. So, we also believed, most of the ISKCON believed, but as time went on, 1980, 1981, 82, 83, certain developments in ISKCON, like some of these gurus falling out of grace, falling for worldly material pleasures, being sannyasis, and being revered as people who are as good as Srila Prabhupada. And according to Prabhupada's philosophy, they are as good as God, they are to be worshipped as good as God. Then they started falling from grace. Devotees started questioning. Maybe it is not true that Prabhupada appointed them. And then eventually devotees, there were a handful of devotees even in 1977 who actually approached the then governing body, which was filled with these gurus, that Prabhupada did not authorize you people. Then once these gurus started falling from grace, there was a bigger uprisal within the movement, and questioning was there. And what happened was, by then these gurus, these 11 gurus, they had made so many of their disciples, and they became less and less dependent upon the rest of the older generation of their god brothers. and they put them in a very embarrassing situation in the temples. Eventually, many of them had to leave. So slowly by 1985-86, whole of ISKCON had very few Prabhupada's original initiated devotees. Most of them had to leave ISKCON and they were outside ISKCON. So because these so-called rebels and troublemakers are less and less, ISKCON seemed to be running well, because the temples got populated with new disciples, owing absolute allegiance to all these gurus. And when one guru in one zone fell down from grace, then rest of the gurus all they put up a very courageous face that Maya is very powerful, so anybody can fall down, and in this way they started making a change in the entire philosophy that guru can fall down. Okay, so that was the next questioning that came from devotees. No, this is not according to Prabhupada's preaching, that gurus cannot fall down is what Srila Prabhupada says. Only one who has reached that stage, he is worshipped as good as God. A person who is a pure representative of Krishna is the one who is a bona fide spiritual master, who delivers the disciples from this material world. He has to be free from Maya. Somebody who is, if you read Srila Prabhupada's books, it becomes very clear that somebody whose hands are tied cannot liberate somebody else. He has to be free, he has to be liberated. The guru has to be liberated from the three modes of material nature. Guru has to be liberated from this material pleasures and material desires and all kind of things. And the guru's position is that he is situated at the lotus feet of Krishna. However, as more and more gurus started falling down, there was no other way for these gurus except they slowly diluted the position of guru and practically established among the entire communities that guru can always fall down. But this was never taught. These very same 11 people in 1977, when no untoward incident had begun, they themselves declared at that time that Srila Prabhupada's teaching is that guru will not fall down. Only Mahabhagavata can be in the disciplic succession, implying that they are of that caliber. But unfortunately, history spoke something else. Then that's something called, they changed the philosophy that guru, there is something called less than perfect guru. Mind you, we are not talking about Siksha Guru, we are not talking about, there are, in our philosophy of Krishna consciousness, there are two gurus, two categories of gurus, Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Siksha Guru is, everybody is a Siksha Guru. Every child who tells somebody else Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead is also a Siksha Guru. We don't want anybody to get it wrong that we are against gurus. No, we are against unauthorized, self-made, self-declared gurus of that caliber as Srila Prabhupada to sit in the chain of our disciplic succession. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Amara Ajna Guru, everybody should become guru. Otherwise, how the movement will spread? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is meant to make gurus. That means meant to make teachers who spread Krishna consciousness, but not to take the position of a pure devotee directly representing Krishna and free from all material desires.
Okay. So the crux of what you are trying to say is that basically post Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON, there was like you are going on saying how gurus fell down and there was no qualified guru to take the place of Srila Prabhupada. So you are saying that there was lack of qualification of qualified or lack of qualified people to take up Srila Prabhupada's position, and unqualified people took up Srila Prabhupada's position, and you felt this is improper and you wanted to correct the system, and that's why you took up this cause?
See, we were very much part of this system. I joined in the year 1981 as a full-time missionary. I was very much part of this system. I had also taken initiation from one of these 11 gurus. But in 1998, the then chairman of the GBC, he fell from grace, and the entire movement at that time was really believing that, okay, many have fallen out, but this guy is the guy who is a shining guy who comes forth as the successor. This feeling was slowly building up in ISKCON from 1990 to 1998, and naturally, being a member of that group, it was quite a big shock to hear that he fell from grace. He ran after some woman, massive, and then this was shocking to us.
Well, you see, like for example, being in this movement myself also, if you see from the actual Guru issue started from 1998. Now 1998 to 77, it's more than 20 years. So in this 20
Actually,
21
Guru
years,
issue for us began in 1998.
Correct.
Okay.
So I am saying 21 years from Jayatirtha to many gurus kept falling. But why did we take it up only in 1998? So if that was the issue,
Yeah.
then we should have started our rebellion much earlier. Why did we choose 1998? What is this affection with the year 1998?
Right. See, in fact, in 1984 or 85, I went to Mayapur festival. At that time, there was a big issue, where who were not gurus, Prabhupada's disciples, they made a 50-man committee, and they approached the GBC, and they challenged them that how is it that you are the only gurus? What system you are following is not correct. And they did not have a solution. They only said that yes, something is wrong. You can't be sitting in the disciplic succession. You are some other kind of gurus, small gurus, and this, all the kind of things. But the GBC at that time compromised with this 50 persons who were also original disciples of Prabhupada, and that is the first time they declared that yes, we did a mistake. We were not the only 11 people told to by Srila Prabhupada to continue the disciplic succession. We are very sorry for it. You can also, all of you can qualify to be the spiritual masters, and that way they opened the door for more gurus. By then, by 85, 84, there were 10 gurus. One had fallen away, and there were everybody knew in the 50-man committee, 2-3 others had big problems. So they minimized the position of the gurus, and they pulled in more people. Now I was in Mayapur at that time. I am just 3-4 years old in the movement, and I go once in a year to the Mayapur festival. So at that time, naturally in Mayapur annual festival time, everybody talks something is going on in GBC, something big is going on in GBC. And so then I also went and asked one of my god brothers, Bhaktivedanta Swami. I asked him, what is this? Because he was senior to me. I said, what is this about all this going on in the GBC? Oh, that is all. They are envious of these god brothers, are envious of our gurus. Actually, then I said, no, they are saying that there is no appointment. No, there is an appointment tape. Prabhupada appointed these 11 people. Okay. Moment he said Prabhupada appointed those 11 people, and there is an appointment tape. To me, that matter ended there. I said, okay, it must be something else. Let's leave it at that. This was my only encounter with the Guru issue. After that I came back to Bangalore.
This was in 1984.
84 or 85. I came back to Bangalore and continuing, and anything you used to hear, we used to simply think that, interpret the same, way in which I was given the perspective that, some people are gurus, some people are not gurus, so those who are not gurus are envious of those who are gurus, etc. Left it like that. But then in 1998, what happened was, it all happened simultaneously. When I went, for the Delhi temple inauguration, that time we were all given, accommodation together, and I was with, Adridharan Prabhu and Yashomatinandan Prabhu, Rasaraj Prabhu. They were all there in the next room, each other. And so one of the days when they came to my room, and I had a unresolved management issue in my head. There was a devotee who had joined this temple, one Mataji, Brahmacharini, and there was a proposal for her from Singapore temple. The vice president of Singapore temple, he wanted to marry her. And when the proposal was almost getting finalized, somebody all of a sudden, put in my ears that, hey, no, Singapore is a Ritvik temple. I said, what is a Ritvik temple? I didn't know, I just left, okay, hold the proposal. So I add this in my agenda somehow to resolve this and give an answer to them. So therefore, that time I used that opportunity and asked these people, hey, what is Singapore, what is this Ritvik temple and all this. And then, Adridharan Prabhu, he said that, oh, you have not heard of Ritvik? I said, no, I have not heard of Ritvik. Then Yashomatinandan was quiet. Rasraj Prabhu was saying, you have laptop? Yeah, I have laptop. Okay, you type July 9th in the folio. I typed July 9th. Then I saw the letter. Then, I saw the 11 names. First time I am seeing the July 9th letter. So I was not shocked. I said, yeah, it's all right. There must be, Ritvik. Oh, Prabhupada calls them Ritviks. So afterwards, there is an appointment, separate appointment of these 11 people. I myself told, remembering what I heard. Immediately, 3 of them in one voice they said, absolutely no letter after that. This is the last letter that Prabhupada wrote regarding appointment of gurus. I said, is it true? Really? No, we challenge you, you find out if you want. But they were very, very careful to speak to me, because in those days it is such that, it has become a culture that anybody against the gurus means their heads will get chopped off. They will have to leave the movement. So they were a little hesitant, but the moment they saw my curiosity, is it really true? There is no other letter. They all jumped together and said, yes, there is no, because I was a blue-eyed boy of the gurus.
You were giving them a lot of money.
Yeah. No, I am not giving them a lot of money, that they were getting a lot of success, that my guru system works.
Understand.
Yeah, Bhaktivedanta Swami, my disciple, built a big temple, and see, this kind of...
you were their gateway to their popularity.
Exactly,
and,
exactly. In fact, in the entire ISKCON, after Srila Prabhupada left this planet, this is one of the biggest projects that, came up. So naturally, it was a feather on the cap of the guru system, according to them. So, and it was anticlimax when, I came out of the system. As much as rise was there, that much was their image fell down. So that is how, I was not aware of any of these things till 1998. 1990, the moment I saw that, then, things started working in my mind. I went the very same day, in the lawn, Jayapataka Maharaj was sitting. I went to him and asked, pay me your obeisances. And I told Maharaj, like this, I heard there is a letter like this, and, is there a letter after that? And is there an appointment letter after that? So he did not answer anything. He only, heard these questions. It increased more, it increased my curiosity. Then from there I was straight away going to Mayapur, and then Mayapur, next day was the Vyasa Puja of Jayapataka Maharaj. And, every year I am the star there who organizes the entire Vyas Puja in a very pompous manner, glorifying the Guru as he should be glorified, as good as God. I was the leader, but that year I had no inspiration. So I vanished from the scene. So everybody was searching and looking for me. And then it so happened that, after that I came back to Bangalore. And then as soon as I came back to Bangalore, this Adridharan Prabhu, he knew he has succeeded in, planting the seed. So by mail I got this book, Final Order. And meantime, in the intervening 2-3 months, I was quite disturbed. After that festival. And then this book landed on me. Meantime, Adridharan Prabhu managed, even before the book could come, what is this entire issue about Guru? It came out in a Sunday supplement in Calcutta, in Daily Telegraph, a full page on this Guru, self-made Gurus. So that also opened my eyes. I started showing to all the devotees. And then followed up with this, I got this book. And then that time it was very clear, July 9th letter, and many things were being explained. All the quotes were compiled by many devotees working hard together for several years. They were very nicely combined, and that changed the entire thing.
From an outer external perspective, like it's very like if you see the state of current reality in this whole episode, the kind of hard feelings and the shapes and the tenor this whole fight has taken over.
Yeah,
it's very difficult for a layman to accept that it started off by you hearing 3 people calling you in a room and telling you that they were appointed as Ritvik. For anybody to accept, this is the motivation for this whole thing, to go to the courts, fight publicly on TV channels, mudslinging, and the kind of outright Kurukshetra war that has happened in the last 18 years. If you say this is the trigger and was the motivation, it's very difficult for a person to accept.
Yeah, it's true.
We always, when we say this is the reason, which you say this is the reason, for an ordinary person, this cannot be the reason to go to this level of fight. There must be something more behind the scenes, and this is just a smoke screen that has been created to achieve some other ends.
Yeah.
What do you have to say for that?
You see, in fact, when the Guru issue began, the first visit of Jayapataka Maharaj in Bangalore was, he put a garland on me, and in front of many devotees as a witness, he told, why don't you become a Guru in ISKCON? So I was shocked. Now you may ask, why are you so shocked about that also? For understanding this, you need to understand the perspective from which at least I have joined ISKCON. We had answers to all questions in life from Prabhupada's books. That's why we dedicated our life. We were so impressed with the concept of bona fide spiritual master. That's why we surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. It's a very deep principle for a serious spiritual practitioner. In principle, I strictly followed the principle that whomever I took initiation is as good as God, and that is why I did my duties and with heart to do whatever one should do to a spiritual master, the level of worship and everything. I also followed that. You see, here there is an element. One who understands the philosophy of Krishna consciousness properly, he bases his belief in Guru based on certain shastric injunctions. Yasya deva para bhaktir yata devo tata guru. One should have the same level of faith that one has in Krishna in Guru. This is very important. And unless one develops Guru Bhakti, one cannot develop Krishna Bhakti. These are all the principles of Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we have created those foundation in us. And then there was one question which remained unanswered for me all these years from 1981, from the first time I heard Jayati fell down. From that time, all the philosophical questions were answered. One question remained unanswered, because I believed then that Prabhupada ordered them. How could a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada make this mistake which creates so much turmoil among in-devotees' lives? When a guru falls down, like when Harikesh Swami fell down in 1998, there were 5,000 disciples he had. And what a turmoil for them. And what a level, what pedestal they kept him and they worshipped him. And it was devastating to all these spiritual children. Like abusing children it is, abuse of faith. So one has to understand the sense of feeling getting cheated. Because we have no other life. We have given our life for this cause. For us it is our lifeline. It's not that, spiritual life is some side life and we have a life in our institution, you have your position, you have your president, you have all your facilities and your life is running. Therefore, what is so? No, there are no parallel lines for us. We are dedicated day and night, whether as a washing pot or a pujari or as a temple president, does not matter. The true follower of Prabhupada's movement is feeling completely dedicated to Guru and Krishna. So unless someone understands this position of Guru and what is expected by our philosophy, what that disciple should have, what kind of feelings towards the Guru, unless one understands these things, that sense of feeling cheated, the deep emotion of feeling spiritually cheated, does not, nobody can understand who does not know these things. The unfortunate thing. There is a genuine turmoil, but the outside world cannot understand this. What can be done? As much as possible, we take shelter of the truth and we say, okay, Prabhupada did not appoint them. But the outside world will think, so what, Prabhupada did not appoint them. All right, they gave a try. What's wrong? For us, it's not that. For them, it is such a simple question. So unfortunately, there will be a big gap in understanding of devotees' turmoil of getting cheated in this Guru system. And it's a fact that, if this entire issue was ought to have been kept within the movement. Going out is another kind of violence upon the innocent living entities who are just waiting to develop faith in Krishna, many innocent people. When they see that we are fighting among ourselves, it's very sad. So it is very painful for us. It's a very sad history of ISKCON, very painful for us, and we minimize it. That's all we can do.
Now, you figured out what's the problem, what's the reason of the problem. So what's the solution? You're not providing us a solution. You say, okay, the gurus are not qualified.
Right.
The gurus are don't have authorization to keep their positions, etc., which we are hearing. So what is the solution? That means there will be no gurus?
No, ISKCON will be full of gurus, but not Diksha Guru. Everybody will be disciples. Why this
distinction between Diksha, Siksha, etc.,
Because our philosophy talks about responsibility for one person to take you back to Godhead. Therefore, our philosophy says you can have one Diksha Guru and many Siksha Gurus. So, the principle of Diksha Guru, even according to management, you see, everybody is responsible means nobody is responsible. So, in the same way, in the spiritual realm also, the Guru, there are two types, Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. Diksha Guru means he is responsible. When he takes initiation, when he gives initiation, he says, I will take you back to Godhead. So that spiritual responsibility is established between, it's a contract that he undertakes. He as a servant of Krishna, he undertakes to take this devotee back to Godhead. So we cannot change the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. This is, this is Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. We belong to this tradition. This Diksha Guru is extremely important.
So you are saying that Srila Prabhupada will take all the devotees back to Godhead, and he is the Diksha Guru of all the devotees.
We are saying he will be the
Then
Diksha
I
Guru.
can tell Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is my Diksha Guru. I can tell Shat Goswamis are my Diksha Guru. Why should I restrict myself to just Srila Prabhupada?
Why we have to? Because Srila Prabhupada set up an institution, and in the institution is the founder Acharya, and it is understood that every institution has to run according to the dictates of the founder of that institution. So if the founder Acharya has given in July 9th a directive to the entire temple presidents and GBCs that this is a system, then unless there is an alternate letter or authority from Prabhupada, it is our duty to follow what Srila Prabhupada has written in that letter. And imagine one thing, before 1977, it is not that everybody who got initiated by Srila Prabhupada has seen Prabhupada, not that everybody has had direct instruction from Prabhupada. So the situation that exists today, where Srila Prabhupada is not physically accessible to devotees like he was accessible in pre-1977, this situation existed for majority of the devotees. And they made spiritual advancement. They read Prabhupada's books. They followed its instruction. They developed faith in Prabhupada. They progressed in spiritual life. So, if this scenario existed then, why it can't exist now? Prabhupada does not, he is eternal. Spiritual master is eternal. Just like if spiritual master came when pre-97, he came to Bangalore, initiated, and he went to Chennai. It's not that, nobody has any relationship with him till he comes back to Bangalore. So like that, Prabhupada will be preaching in some planet now. He is an eternal preacher of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Now, the solution that you are giving, like for example, as spiritual people, everything should be based on Guru, Sadhu and Shastra.
Yeah.
Now, you are giving a very unique solution. What is the basis? Is it your mental speculation, or is it based on Guru, Sadhu and Shastra?
No, you see, when Prabhupada has explicitly given a system in writing, for first and for the purpose, the letter begins like this: for the purposes of first and second initiation in ISKCON. That means for a certain function within the institution, this is the system you should follow. Prabhupada has very clearly given that directive. When he has given a very clear direction, who am I to question Srila Prabhupada? Is it according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra? I would presume that it is very much within the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And later on, if you really go into the Prabhupada's teachings, it will take a longer discussion.
Yeah, no, I just want for our viewers also to understand. Give us some specific references from Guru and Sadhu Shastra, from the Prabhupada's teachings itself, which corroborates your idea that this can continue.
Yeah. For instance, the idea of disciplic succession. One of the allegations they say is, do you say the parampara ends? So, now disciplic succession, normally normal understanding is there is one physical one person, after his life another person, another person, another person. And it continues. And here you people are saying disciplic succession ends with Srila Prabhupada. Actually, that is not correct. It doesn't end with Srila Prabhupada. When you go deep into what is disciplic succession, Prabhupada explains, continuation, generation after generation, of the disciplic conclusion is called disciplic succession. I mean, this is something that when you go deep into Prabhupada's books, you will understand what is disciplic succession. Otherwise, we have a kind of a gross understanding of person after person. Now, if you look at this, Prabhupada says simultaneously, I live in my books. I don't die. Now, if you take all those things, you just put them all together, you will see that disciplic succession continues as long as Prabhupada's books are unchanged. The conclusion is protected. In fact, in 1977 GBC meeting, a definition of GBC was drafted and Prabhupada approved that. that GBC is the ultimate managing authority of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, of which His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is a final authority, etc., etc.
That's the managerial. We are talking about the spiritual part.
No. In that, he also said the final authority. In other words, they have the mandate to preserve and preach the philosophy of Krishna consciousness as presented by Srila Prabhupada. So, it is not only about management, that is talking about, in fact, the answer to your question remains there. GBC has to protect the disciplic succession. In other words, if on the other hand, today what has GBC done? They have changed Prabhupada's books. So, the parampara is lost. Just like human beings existed, Krishna says, I taught this to sun god, and then then it came down. And
so don't you think this changing the books is a little exaggerated?
No way, how can you say it is exaggerated?
Some comma has been changed, some full stop has been changed, and then you quote Prabhupada's, you cannot change a comma, a full stop, and then you make a big case out of it.
I mean, there may not be 5,000 commas and full stops in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Can you believe that there are 5,000 changes in the Bhagavad Gita in one book? Entire paragraph has been re-paraphrased, which is completely Prabhupada's way of speaking, Prabhupada's way of giving the purports. That's completely changed. They wanted to improve the English. They changed the entire purport. I mean, that's not fair. Prabhupada taught out of this very Bhagavad Gita as it is. There may be comma mistakes, there may be mistakes that some wrong translation, a few words here and there. I mean, a decent way, a gentleman's way of doing this, to put some asterisk and say that this could be a typo, and therefore this is what the real meaning that is there. They could go back to the manuscript and check. Such kind of things one can, but one should not touch the books of Prabhupada, touch the words of the Acharya after he has left. There is a principle like that. Prabhupada himself talks about it. Because why does Prabhupada talk about all these in those days? Because these very same things they did about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. On his books they did the same thing. In fact, Prabhupada used to tell them that you please read, if you want to read Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's book, he said pre-1932, what was there, you please read. So, it's the same situation today here, that editing and changing Prabhupada's books, and it's not a excuse, it's a very, very serious thing, especially in the context of the question you asked about disciplic succession. This is there is a gross external meaning of something, and there is a essence of something. And when you read Prabhupada's books, you understand what is the essence of disciplic succession. Disciplic succession means you pass down a mango, same mango should be passed down as it is. In the same way, the same teaching should be passed down as it is, which is a very important principle. Prabhupada goes on repeating it. He says, if I have any credit, it is because I simply repeated what my spiritual master taught. So, it's not acceptable at all. So, they are the people, even though they are maintaining physically chain of disciplic succession. Oh, next I am Guru. The essence, in essence, disciplic succession is stopped there. Whereas we don't have any physical succession, but we are following the essence of disciplic succession by adhering to every word of Srila Prabhupada and his teachings as it is. We don't want to read the books that are changed, we want to read the original books.